I guess whenever I have to do these things, I get to review bad games. And again, that's not saying it's bad, but it's a total step down from what we got before. Just mainly because the story in this game is very awful. And the gameplay elements, though, have been improved. The graphics in this game have not. So also, I was being dumb in my Book of Shadows review and talking about all the chapters too much. I wanted to do that, but I didn't want to basically like do a full-fledged talk about each chapter, just to tell them what I think of it. But I kind of failed in doing that. And trust me, I'm not going to do that in this review, mainly because it has 10 chapters, and I refuse to do that. So basically, the game starts off right where we left off. Ayumi's sister head getting exploded. Um, and as you can see here, the graphics, yes, are very poor. Now, gameplay-wise, this is probably the best game that has the best gameplay mechanics. But for graphics-wise, this is definitely one of the worst graphics in the whole entire series. I'd say in the game series, it's the second worst graphics. Only second to what I have to review next time. Also, this is kind of a weird thing for me to say, but have you noticed how Ayumi is wearing different uniform clothes? Last time in Book of Shadows and Blood Covered, she had some sort of white uniform, but Ayumi now has a brown uniform. I'm not sure why. It's never been explained to us. It's just maybe they just decided to animate it differently. Oh yeah, and this happened where the main villain catches our main protagonist taking a bath. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Call the cops or some shit. Like, even if you trust this man with everything, then you should still call the cops. We also get a new set of characters. One of them is Aiko, and the other one is basically kind of like a very side antagonist. Like, we lose him very quickly into the game, but then we get him back later, only for him to disappear 5 minutes later. Also, I will give this game credit. When I said that this had the best gameplay mechanics, I truly meant it. Like, even in based in combat, like, you can still lose health. Like, you can take damage, but your health bar actually works. So, like, even, like, in every other corpse party game, it's one shot, one kill. In this one, the damage bar actually is existing. You can take a few more shots. The only thing I wish is that maybe we had some kind of level up system in this, but I won't complain with this improvement. Also, you can even take out your enemies with Talesman. Or Talisman, I don't know. But 3 chapters later, one of the main characters finally goes to Heavenly House. The main reason she did that is because she feels she'll find a way to revive all her dead friends. And in which case, I don't like that. But we start the game off with something insane and scary. Like, like we have now Mayu's ghost chasing us for like the beginning of this game. Not for all the time, but for the beginning. And she basically Since she's dead, she loses every body part she has that she lost. Which I call bullshit, because she lost literally every body part. We now meet what I can only say is what you call a badass stripper. But I don't like it, and it's so weird, and I fucking hate it. Like, I'm pretty sure some of the writers on this were high. Because literally, this girl is wearing underwear. Like, just underwear. Also, she's somehow connected to Naho in some matter. But I don't want to know that because, I mean, we should have seen that in Book of Shadows where the chapter was actually about Naho. Also, she decides to kill two innocent bystanders in all of this to go to Heavenly Host, which, in fairness, I wouldn't even consider doing because A, I wouldn't want to kill someone, and B, why would the hell would anyone want to go back there? Also, somehow phones work in this game in Heavenly Host, even though that's BS because we noticed in Blood Covered that the phones didn't work. Also, the first ever gameplay thing is basically Satoshi running to get lunch, which is stupid. But then Satoshi's mom calls what I can only guess is the Japanese FBI to give Satoshi lunch. Like, literally, the man comes out of a helicopter to give him his lunch. Like, what the hell? Like, this can't actually be real, is it? So now Ayumi has to find the 7 Infinity Stones. Whoops, I meant pillars of, I don't even remember anymore. To basically revive all of them. Little does she know, she's being punked. Which, that pains me to say that word, but she is being punked. Also, I just want to say there's different kind of selection traits for each character. Like, like Ayumi can run fast, but she doesn't have a good amount of health. Yoshiki has a good amount of health, but can't run fast. Also, isn't there a new Sachiko now? Shouldn't she be? Shouldn't there be like more ghosts in this school? I've barely seen any like blue ghosts in the game until kind of recently. Also, we also get a scene of a teacher and Satoshi's little sister basically being kind of censored naked in a pool, which I'm not going to show it because I don't want to get demonetized on YouTube, but I just want to say this is how unnecessary the game gives us. So then Satoshi and Naomi and the teacher that now has a crush on Satoshi decide to go back to Heavenly Host and try to um, stop all the dead spirits from rising in the real world, because for some reason they're doing that. Not really even to find Satoshi and not really to find Yoshiki and Ayumi, just to find the way to stop the dead spirits. So then we realize that our main antagonist has conned Ayumi into basically ending the whole world as we know it, and putting the whole world, everyone in it, inside of Heavenly Host. Now, why would he want to do this? Because he's also part of the whole world. I will never know. It's very stupid, and his plan makes no sense. Also, in this part of the game, I will say that the gameplay has much improved, but I just want to say something. that bad endings in this game are very poor. Like, I feel like they cut their already non-existent budget in half. And, like, come on, look at these characters' designs. They look like rip-off Mii's. Also, some of the extra chapters I'm not going to talk about in this game, because I'll probably get demonetized off of YouTube with some of these scenes. Also, now Ayumi goes back home, but everyone else doesn't for some odd reason. It is very weird, but now one of the people who are dead are now back. It's the person who's, like, apparently killed two bystanders. But now there's this weird pillar in the entire city. Which, why? Why is it doing that? Also, apparently, the Book of Shadows is inside of Ayumi's body for some reason. No one's explained to us why it's transported in her body. We just apparently see that happen. And now she has to cut it out of her. Why is this necessary? Why not just have the Book of Shadows somewhere? Or at least not have her cut open her entire body? Like, so weird in that sense. It's so dumb, so bad. I immediately hate it. Oh, and apparently this girl is from the, Japanese mafia. Now, Ayumi decides to, go back to Heavenly Host for the second time now. But this time I can kind of agree with it. But also, if this pillar is all the way at the top, wouldn't this mean Heavenly Host is technically above ground and not down ground? Like, but underground is what I meant to say. My goddamn grammar. But now our second main antagonist, who's basically a male version of Sachiko, has basically burnt Naomi's eye out. And trust me, it's gonna get a whole lot worse for her. Also now, Sachi has gained control of Yuka, who's gone to Heavenly Host for the most BS reason to get her brother back. And went with her other friend. I'm not gonna give you the full story because it's kind of stupid. And Yuka decides to get turned into Sachi because she was darkened because she thought her brother was dead. I know I should have showed these scenes, but they're very stupid, and like I could have done the review without them. Also, the weirdest commentary happens with this villain. Like, just watch what he says. And then she apparently pees all over the floor, which I don't. I can't. I can't with this game. This game has made it so unnecessary for Yuka and Yurin. I think I'm literally gonna take a nap listening to all of this. So basically, there's this final boss at the end of the game, and I will say the final boss is actually kind of intense. And the ending, God, the ending, it's so dumb, it's so stupid. Why would this happen? Basically, Ayumi sacrifices herself to the Nirvana by means of eating everything inside of it. But then Yoshiki decides to be a gamer and go be with her, because if when they leave Heavenly Host, they're gonna immediately forget her entire existence. So basically, Yoshiki and Ayumi are literally wiped from existence, and I think uh, Seiko, Mayu, Morshige, and Miss Yui are back in reality. Now, I'm not sure if if they're revived or not, or if they're just back in existence or back in reality. But it's weird. So, now let's talk about this game and how I feel about it. Now, I shouldn't probably call it bad, but it's very disappointing. It's one of the most disappointing games I've ever played. I just don't feel that there is a point to this game that doesn't leave any amount of satisfaction. It's as bad as it ended off, and the sequel, oh my god, the sequel. They shouldn't even made a sequel. They should have left this there. So, in fairness, this game is actually okay, and I'd give it a 6 out of 10, only for the fact of the gameplay. The mechanics are very good, and some of the scares are actually very scary. So that's my review on it. It's gonna get much worse later on. But yeah, that's my basic opinion on this, so I'll see you guys next time.